Very good. So you can close that scene again. Now, whatever happened has already happened, and you're on the other side of it. And from that position, you can look back at the entire life and see it from a different perspective. Every life has a lesson and a purpose. As you look at the life, what did you learn from it?
That the more resistance I have for something I don't want, the more I attract it.
Okay. So we get more of what we focus on, even if it might be negative or we don't, what is unwanted.
Yes. You will think that you will say, I do not like that, and that it is not negative. But instead of saying, I do not like that, because by saying that, you are still attracting that, rather ignore that and focus on what you do like, and only verbally and mentally express what you do like.
Yes, but it seems to be difficult to do if everything around us is all negative.
Yes, it is. It is very difficult to do that. We are not equipped to talk about that. Somebody else is trying to come in. We are going to step away now.
Yes, who am I speaking with now?
You are speaking with Sammy Joe.
Yes, and who is that?
We are a bit more of the wind aspect, the light aspect, the fun aspect, as you will.
Yes, very good. And so it's similar to her sister, who also has the elemental kind of aspects. Is that correct?
Everybody is connected to elemental aspects.
Mm.
We just cannot individualize it the way that one would. Everybody has to be connected to the elements to survive on the planet. Some people have the earth element, some people have fire, some people have air, and that is just how it is now. This is just the air element in her that helps to phase her into certain areas of her life.
Okay. And why would the air element be the correct element to answer the next questions?
Because she has been very heavy and grounded lately. The earth element has been in control, which is not a bad thing, but she has forgotten the light side of life. Last time, earth element came through and everything was very serious. Everything does not have to be so serious all the time. Some things can be serious but be light at the same time and have that free-flowing aspect.
Yes. Can you maybe talk about why she had this kind of theme going through her life? She seemed to be in school, she was teased a lot.
It is because she finds it difficult to accept who she is as a person. She has these contradicting personalities, if you will. She has us, the air, which is very much floating and on the ground, and then she has the earth element, which is very much rooted in the ground. It makes it difficult for her to understand herself sometimes because she does not know how to balance the two of us fully yet, but she is learning.
Yes.
She also needs to just accept herself for who she is and not worry about how it will affect the people around her. She always has good intentions. She's never ever making a decision out of maliciousness or self-gain in a negative way. So she does not understand why her decisions can create conflict, but they do, because everybody is different and everybody has their own perspective and their own journey. You cannot control the people around you, but you can control you. And that is what we are trying to teach her, is that by just focusing on herself and drowning out the repercussions or the flow of energy that will create chaos around her, as it is not for her. It is not her fault that somebody will perceive her energy in a negative way. She can see that they will perceive it that way, and then therefore she does not want to send that energy out. She is constricting the flows. And because she is constricting the flow, she is creating chaos within herself and within her emotions. Her emotions are very overwhelmed at the moment, but they are only overwhelmed because she is suppressing them. She is not allowing them. She is wanting to be neutral the entire time. She is too scared to be fully in the moment with where she is because she associates that with loss. Because as it comes up, the wind takes it away, and she does not like this. But she does not understand that in order for bigger, better things to arrive, the wind has to come and take it away. So she gets mad with us. She gets mad with herself instead of just letting it flow. She has realized that she has strong desires lately and that she wants to pursue those desires. But she is finding it difficult because of the conflict. It is human nature. Every human is going through that at any given moment, faced with the contrast. But at the end of the day, you need to go into self, and you need to realize that you need to focus on the things that make you feel good. Positive emotions are where you want to be on the spectrum. You want to feel good. You do not like to feel bad. So do not tell yourself, I do not like to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. Because the universe works on vibration, not on language. The universe does not hear the word don't, and it does not understand that word. It just feels that vibration leaving the body. The don't vibration of I didn't like that, that is lack. So it goes, ooh, that is the vibration you are releasing. Wow, I love you so much. I'm going to give you more of that because that is what you have asked for. Wording for an individual is very important so that you make sure you set your vibration out, but not so much for the universe. The universe does not understand language. Where she should look at something and go, ooh, okay, that's interesting, but I really like red apples. She has taken the focus from the thing that she did not like away completely without even allowing it to become a thought of a seed.
Okay.
And therefore, more will happen. It was like when she was driving here. She heard a funny sound in the car in the week. She immediately jumped to a negative thought and said, oh, I hope nothing is wrong with my car. I hope nothing breaks again because I have already fixed all these things. And now I do not have this other person that I would phone to help me anymore because I needed to let them go. She focused on that. And then it manifested instantly for her. She understood that, I think, because she has not put focus on that and she has moved past it. It did not create an emotional outburst. So we are getting there. But I am trying to show her that she needs to just be a bit more like the wind. She is grounded and she can come up to the sky without losing her feet. But she is too serious. She is not letting it flow. She is focused on things that she should not be focused on. And most of the people around are focused on things that they should not be focused on now. Now is the time to really focus on what is happening inside of you and only you, and make sure that you only focus on your positive emotions at any given time. But do not shame yourself for having negative emotions. See the negative emotion as a lesson. People do not like to hear this because people do not understand this. She is even, I can feel, kicking up, going, "Oh, not again. I don't get this concept." She doesn't. What it means is, if somebody made you angry because they said something that hurt your feelings, what you need to understand is, was the lesson that you did not like the way that they spoke to you? Or is it because you believe there is truth to what they say? Then from there, once you know the aspect, let's for example say you think there is truth in what they say, but you are fighting resistance because it makes you angry because you do not believe what they say, but yet you do believe it because you have that self-doubt. You are just making the emotion more negative. Instead of seeing it as, oh wow, actually, this is such a beautiful moment, me sitting here in my anger right now, because I actually realized I have some self-doubt that I did not see before. And how beautiful it is that I have the self-doubt, because now I know that is what I need to release and let go. That was the lesson. The negative emotion is trying to amplify the positive, but we don't allow it to because we focus too much on the negative aspect. Another example will be like food. She does not like wasabi when she eats her sushi, even though she's still eating it and should not be. She does not like the taste of that. Now, she could have had the wasabi and not liked the taste and then shunned the sushi off the entire time because that is the general taste and she does not like that. But instead, it was one of, ooh, I tried that. I don't like that. But it actually made me realize how much I really like this other thing. I really like the sushi and the soya sauce. So all I'm going to focus on is the sushi and the soya sauce and not focus on the fact that I did not like the wasabi. This wasabi just showed me that I enjoy the soya and the sushi more, if that makes sense. We do not know how else to explain it, for we are air, we are all over the place. It is difficult to stay in one train for a very long time.
Yes, no, that makes 100% sense. I was just wondering, just getting back to kind of the scenes that were shown. She was also sitting on her bed after school. She was just scared to tell, her mom and her dad about what happened that day. And she kind of labeled anger as being evil. And she was also angry at her mom for letting her dad back in. And she moved in with her boyfriend. But it seems like there's a continual theme of feeling caged. Why were these scenes shown?
It is so that she can understand what is happening. She is making herself caged because she is focusing on the thing that she does not want instead of focusing on what she does want. She does not like conflict. It is her nature. She is very empathetic and very sensitive to people's energies. She hears past the hearing, she sees past seeing, and she feels past the feeling. So everything is heightened for her. So where an ordinary person, for example, she is not the only one of her kind. We want to make that clear. There are many like her, but there are many not like her. So for this purpose, we will focus on the ones that are not like her. They will not view an angry outburst as deeply as she will. It's because she can see it, hear it, taste it, touch it, feel it on such an intimate vibrational level. And so it is very difficult for her to process it. And therefore she tries to avoid it because she feels it so deeply. But she is denying that aspect of herself. She is denying who she is. And therefore she is creating the chaos. She is creating the conflict. She listens to her intuition, but when her intuition is guiding her on her very intimate personal journeys, she does not listen because she is afraid, because she knows that there will be some kind of negative vibration, and she does not want to feel any negative vibrations, but she cannot bypass them all the time. She needs to realize that the negative vibrations, just because they are around her, They are around her all the time, but she is not the creator. She feels that she is sometimes the creator of conflict and the creator of chaos because of the way that she views things and the things that she says. But she is very diplomatic and she is not the creator of chaos. She just needs to not allow it to cripple her. That is what she is doing. She is allowing her fear of any kind of negative emotion, sadness, anger, resentment, fear. She is allowing them to cripple her by not allowing herself to feel them or be afraid to be in a situation where she is experiencing those emotions. So now she has locked her emotions up. She thinks she is letting them flow, but she isn't. She has locked them up and they are going to explode. And then it is going to be very difficult for her to work past them. She needs to let them flow, but she needs to not focus on them.
It seems like a bit of a contradiction. You're saying focus on the positive, but still feel the negative emotions.
Yes, because the negative emotion is not actually negative. It is only negative because it has been labeled. That is also the problem with what is happening on the planet. Everything is labeled. Everyone is being labeled. You are either rich or you are poor, or you are pretty or you are ugly, or you are up or you are down, or you are successful or you are not, or you are important or you are not. Everything is about labels. Negative emotion is not negative. It is your guiding system. It is simply telling you your body does not like or need this because you cannot always communicate with your vessel. And so your vessel has different tastes in food that it likes or does not like. But this has also been corrupted because of the diet. But we will not get into that. We will just focus on the emotion. The negative emotion is actually showing you the positive emotion that you should focus on. When you do not like something, then you know that you are like something else. So focus on what you like. Chase the things you like. Chase the things you love. Focus on the emotions that make you feel good. And know that when you feel the negative emotion, it is telling you, it is us. It is us, the higher selves, the guidance systems. It is the body, it is the ego. We are all working together. When you are experiencing a negative emotion, we are telling you that is not the way that you should be going. Not that way. Go this way. When you feel a negative emotion, then it means it's time to recalibrate. It does not mean something bad is happening, but we label it as something negative.
Yes.
Oh no, I am not aligned anymore because I got upset and I got sad. So now I'm not aligned. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to feel this way. I want to get back into alignment. Yes, that in itself is a good thing because it is showing you what you want. You want to be back in alignment, but you are not out of alignment because you have negative emotions, as you label it. One cannot be out of alignment from being angry or being sad. One cannot restrict the flow of energy that you have coming towards you, that you have magnetized because you have had a moment where you had a human emotion. We are here incarnated in human form to have these emotions, so they are never negative, but we label them as negative. They are only negative when we pursue them out of a sense of arrogance. I am angry. I am so angry at you that I am going to take an axe and I am going to murder you. That is then a negative emotion. It is a negative response. You allowed the emotion to drive you as a person in a negative way and physically harmed other people, knowing that that was your intent. And that is where the difference is. Feeling negative emotions on a daily basis, whether it be envy or jealousy or any one of those that people also do not like to discuss, it is just showing you what area of your life you need to be working on. It is showing you where you need to go. It is saying, if I am feeling envious and I am feeling lack, then where I am right now is not where I should be. Then I am not where I need to be going. I am going in the wrong direction. I need to turn around and move back in the other direction. So one would be then to turn around and focus on the things that do not make you feel envious and do not make you feel lack. Go in the opposite road. That is all it is. Imagine you are walking on a road and the road splits. The one road is very dark and it's very overgrown. It looks eerie and spooky. And the other road is all lit up and beautiful. You can see it is the path that everybody is taking all the time. Which path would you end up taking? The one that makes you feel more comfortable and safe. It is the positive emotion. So you will take that road. And emotions need to be viewed the same. When you are experiencing a negative emotion, you need to go back within you. Somebody may have caused that emotion, but they are not the cause. They have triggered something inside of your guidance system that is telling you something is not right, we are moving in the wrong place, let's try and move to the right place. So negative emotions are very important. In fact, we would not have life on this planet if we did not have them, because we would not know what our guidance system is leading us to and what us as an individual person, where we need to go. What we like, what we love, what makes us happy, what sets us free, what sets, as the humans like to say, our soul on fire.
Yes.
It is passion driven. But you also do not want to be chasing those emotions on an empty basis. You need to understand that those emotions are already inside of you. Sam has been working on an exercise that we have been helping her with. She likes to visualize things, but when she manifests, she over visualizes because she can visualize so well. She has too many details. And so she has, since she was young, told herself that if she can imagine it, it will not come true. And if she cannot imagine it, it will come true. So she has made her natural course of manifestation the other way around. That was her choice and that is her belief. It will not change until she changes her belief. But what we do with her now is we get her to focus on the emotion that is going on inside of her. So, for example, if she is feeling sad about something, then she will try and figure out, what is it that has made me feel sad? Why do I feel sad? If she says she feels sad, for example, because lately she has not had too much excitement in her life, she will then, when she meditates, she will meditate and go into a memory that has already existed that gives her that feeling of excitement, so that she is not visualizing new excitement and then afraid that she is blocking a manifestation. So she is using old memories that bring up those emotions. And the moment she feels the emotion, she lets go of the memory and she just focuses on the emotion, on carrying the emotion. You might be able to, in the beginning, carry the emotion for 2 seconds, and the next time, 10 seconds, and the next time, 10 minutes. We are on 1 minute, sometimes 2 minutes, before she gets distracted. But it is to create that feeling from inside. It is to show her that you have that inside of you, so that you are not looking for that emotion or chasing that emotion in the physical form, because then you are creating lack. You will always feel empty because you are chasing something outside of you, and it is not outside of you. Everything is inside of you.
Okay, very good. Okay, can you maybe just talk about her current work situation? She's confused as whether she needs to stay or go. She said she doesn't want to drop the people that she works with, but she also doesn't want to lose herself or drop herself. What is the blockage here?
It is all to do with her emotions.
Mm-hmm.
If she just allows herself the time to feel the emotion without labeling it, and she allows herself to trust herself, she will know what the answer is. She has a very important role, but her role is not limited to one area. That is also why she gets a lot of conflict. She will get the call for the next step now, but it does not mean that she needs to move now. She is just so in tune with the fact that she can feel and hear and see the vibrations on a deep level that it is sometimes ahead of her time. She will feel the call now, but the call is to prepare her for what is coming in the future. And that is also where she gets conflict. She will be leaving the work that she is at, but she will not be leaving right now. The call is just to prepare her so that she knows that she is leaving and that she is prepared in that sense, so that she knows she is not rooted there, because we cannot have her rooted there. It will be more painful for when she needs to leave, whereas if she is knowing that she needs to leave or move, it will be less painful. She has a lot of work to do, and her work there is almost done, but not quite, so she still needs to hold on. Leaving now is not the right thing, and that is why she has had the change of shift in guilt. It is the ego that we have been using to try and help create that shift for her to not act irrationally in the moment, because she does not understand what she is hearing. It is not a physical hearing, but because we call it a call, we say hearing.
Okay, so you're saying she's still going to stay where she is right now for a while, but then eventually she will move.
Yes, she will move eventually. It will come sooner than she thinks it is, but it will not come as soon as she thinks it is.
Okay, very good. With any indication as to when that will happen?
It will probably be before the end of the year if everything stays on track with the work that we are all doing together. There has been a couple of delays, but we seem to have caught up again, and the only thing is whether we stay on track or not.
Okay.
It is difficult because we do not work on linear time. So for us, what is quick is not always quick for you as humans. We are trying to bridge the gap so that we can give more sense of time in the real now as you need it.
Okay, and which other work will she be doing, or what will she be doing when she leaves?
She's doing a lot of work already and she does not realize it, and she will keep doing what she is doing now. She is the finder and the keeper of people. She is connecting people to the right people at the right time without realizing it. Right now, she is the one that is helping to get the people connected to Natasha. Because Natasha is focused on the healing, she cannot do that. So Samantha is helping with that. That is why we put her at the spa, because she understands people and is therefore able to make that connection. That was from a past life with her energy that she used to use, that she is using now. It is one of her skills. She has recently been doing a lot of work with the dead root up on the other parts of the country. It was very difficult for her to do that. She did not like to be there, but she needed to be there because she needs to help move the energy up. Once the root work and the root system is done, she will be moving along. And in the next year, she will be traveling a lot. She will be moving around a lot, and not moving house, but traveling, because she is needing to connect the energy, and she is needing to flip the switch to connect some of the grids that the light workers are currently still connecting. There is a lot of things that she needs to do. She has a lot of different skills. She is not the only one. She has found her divine counterpart, but he has been very stubborn in this life. This has been the most difficult life to get them together, because he is the most stubborn, and it is only one vibration that is creating the stubbornness, and that is his vibration for money. He does not realize that money is only a tool. He is learning, but he is still very stubborn, and that has caused some delays. So they have been doing a lot of work while they are together now energetically, and that is why she is feeling so drained and out of sorts and emotionally all over the place as well. We cannot help for that because we are trying to get things on track, so she just needs to be patient.
What do you mean she's doing dead root work in the kind of north of the country?
A lot of the root systems have died up in the other parts of the country. And because she is linked to the two towers, the energetical towers or domes or pyramids, there are many names and we do not like labels. The energy vortexes will be a more accurate way of describing it. Because she is linked with the energy vortexes, because of the work that she has been doing, and the fact that she is here all the time, connecting to it on a regular basis, she is a channel through. We sent her up. It was very difficult. She had a lot of resistance from the people around her, and she eventually did not want to go, but we made her go because she needed to pull that stream of light up. The roots are dead, and we need new roots. It's like a root system of a plant. When certain roots die, is like a certain food that you can give the soil that will stimulate the new root growth. And that is exactly what we are doing. We are trying to stimulate the new growth of the roots towards the top of the stem, if you will, because we are the bottom part of the roots. We are the roots where we are currently that are right at the bottom. Then you still have the middle roots and the top roots. The middle roots are the ones that are suffering the most. The top roots seem to be sorting itself out and is flowing nicely with the stem, if you will, but the middle roots have been struggling, and so she has been doing some work there. Her divine counterpart was doing some work on the other side of the country, where all the flooding was, because the roots, some of the roots there had drowned, and he was igniting the roots there. That is why he had to come to her first before he carried on with the rest of his things that he had to do, because he needed to connect to the pyramid, because he needed that energy to carry that energy through the grids so that we can integrate it down. There are many. She is not the only one, and he is not the only one. There are others that are doing it as well without realizing, that are flying regularly. They are working that side and they are down this side for the weekends. Their energy is not as strong though, and that is why it was important for them to go and do it. It was very difficult though, because the energy was pulling her all over the place. So we encountered some problems, and she was not protecting herself the way that she should. But I think we are on a better course now, and she understands better now.
So is she consciously doing this work, like for instance in Johannesburg, like kind of resuscitation of the roots?
No, she's not consciously aware. She is aware on some level, especially when it is very draining. She will be sitting at a restaurant and she will suddenly feel drained. She knows when her energy is being leached and when her energy is being worked. She is aware of that difference. She will sit and she will feel drained, and suddenly she will ask, "Why am I feeling drained?" And we will tell her, "You are busy doing energetical work right now. We are sorry that it is draining the body, but you will need to go and rest after." She does not need to do these sessions to speak to us like this. She has these conversations with us all the time, but she does not know that it is us, or chooses to think that it is not us, because she does not believe that it is possible. So, on that spectrum, she is aware, but on the other spectrum, she is not. She did not consciously fly up there to go and do that work.
Okay.
She consciously flew up there to go and do other work, mundane physical work.
Okay.
That was important for her.
Okay, but it was just important for her to be there in order to
It
kind
was
of...
important for her to be there at that exact time. And that is why the universe pulled together that the timing of her mundane was exactly around that time.
mundane. Okay, but what does she exactly do? You're saying, does she kind of just spread the light or just kind of work on the... You're saying reigniting these dead roots?
It's just about moving the energy through. It's about the even exchange of energy. And we are using her body as a portal to move the energy through.
Okay.
Again, this is only one of the things she is doing. This is the basic things that she is doing. She's been doing a lot of work with the light workers lately. We cannot get into too much detail of what she is doing because then she will no longer be protected. There are energies that are aware of other energies, and in so it creates conflict. It is not necessarily a negative, malicious thing, but it is also one of protection. A lot of people are not safe in the astral realm anymore, and it is not a good idea for people to be astral traveling at all. People should stay grounded in their bodies and keep the energy grounded in the earth at this moment. It is safer for them because these energies are looking for something that do not know that they are looking for, and therefore everybody has become a target. Some of the work that she is doing, as well as Natasha, as well as yourself, has not even been revealed yet because it is for your own protection. The more oblivious or unaware you are in this now moment of it, the safer you are because you cannot allow your thoughts to get in the way and create blockages. Or if something happens and somebody tries to extract information, they will not be able to because you will not know. And sometimes it is also just better for humans to know on the moment or as it's happening what is happening and what they need to know just to keep the flow.
Okay. So you're saying that we're all doing spiritual work, that we're a lot of it being unaware of, so that it doesn't get out or distract us from our other tasks.
Yes, exactly. Especially because in this group, this intimate group, the group that you know we are talking of, there is more than one task being done at more than one given moment. And therefore, if you had to know about all the tasks that you are doing, how overwhelming do you think it would be? Just a daily, mundane thing as thinking about work, groceries, dinner, that can already be overwhelming.
Yes.
And we do not want to overwhelm. So, on that perspective, we also choose to only share what is needed
Okay.
when you are doing it.
But Sam was saying she felt like she was doing astral traveling and she felt like she was being interrogated in her dreams. She kind of there was someone who wanted to turn her into a vampire and she woke up with a yeast infection and bladder infection. How can she prevent this from happening in the future?
She needs to stay grounded.
Mm-hmm.
She was not meant to travel in that moment. She was meant to travel because us as the council, we needed to get together. There are many of us at any given moment that are channeling through her. It can be overwhelming. There are 6 of us to be precise. So you could say she has 6 higher selves. We like to refer it to the council. We pulled her in for a meeting.
Mm.
But she then got, afterwards, when she was due to leave, she remembered something else that she wanted to do, and then she then traveled.
Mm.
In doing so, she made awareness on herself. And yes, like I said, there are energies that are trying to extract information. There are many energies. There are energies that are coming through technology. She refuses to acknowledge this because she says that it does not exist in her world and she will block them. She does an okay job of blocking them, but the reality is it's still there. Just because you ignore it does not mean it's not there. And that is what we are trying to teach her as well. So energies did try to extrapolate information from her, information she did not have.
Mm.
It did affect her body because she has been having problems with her self-worth and her self-empowerment, the doubt. So when that happened, it produced through her sacral chakra. And that is what will happen with people. If they accidentally travel and information is trying to get extracted from them, that energy will insert itself into their weakest chakra and slowly, therefore, try to take control. It is just a different way that the electronic energy is trying to take control. And that is what it is about. She was very aware and very sensitive to that, and it manifested in her body negatively immediately so that she would know that something was wrong. And despite the fact that she had received normal medication, therefore, she was still not happy and satisfied because she knew that something was not right. Now she is grounding herself in her body. She is the one that needed to tell us that we are not allowed to let her travel because the relationship with your higher self or selves or guides is always one of consent. So even though we know it's not safe for her to be traveling, she still has to give consent. There still needs to be that even exchange of consent and trust. And we needed her to know that because she has forgotten. She has become a little bit. We do not like to use the word lazy. There is another word that will better describe it, but we cannot think of it now. But she has not been as focused on doing her protection and her cleansing, and this is when it is needed the most. This is what we have been training her for, but she has kind of been like, oh, I cleansed, I set my bubble, I'm good. Because if that is what I believe, then that is what I believe. And to a certain degree, yes, that is true. But it's also not true with all the energies that are moving around at the moment.
Okay, but what kind of information does whoever want to extract?
They just want to extract whatever information they can. Anything that is of positive, anything that is of the light, that is pushing the light forward. So anybody is fair game. I mean, she traveled to where the normal light workers. They thought she was just a normal light worker. They have no idea what she is doing. And they were just interrogating her to try and get the information. She did not know. She just asked, why are you trying to turn me into a vampire? Because she saw the red eyes and it immediately made her think that. But that thought made her so relaxed that she did not take it seriously. And therefore, they could not get anything out of her or affect her emotionally, and therefore had to go through her chakra because they saw that her personal power was too strong. And that is just how things are at the moment. There will always be a positive and a negative. It is an even exchange of energy. Light cannot live without the dark, and we need to accept that it is there. But we also need to accept that we choose where the power goes. And right now, we can choose. Do we want the power to be on them, the focus on them, or do we want the focus to be on us and on the light? The more you worry about the things that you don't want, and I don't want the negative energies, and I don't want the AI, and I don't want this, and I don't want that, the more you are focused on it. And the universe does not know the difference between don't and want. It feels the vibration.
Yes, the universe always says yes.
The universe always says yes.
Yes.
So instead of going, I don't want to be interrogated in my dream, rather just say, I don't want to be working in astral anymore. I want to be grounded and rooted in my body, in my bed, in a safe bubble of warmth and peace for now, because my energy is better used and utilized in my human form on the earth right now. The energetical work is not as important at this stage anymore. The energetical work has basically been done already. It now needs to get pulled through the energetical form into the physical form. So imagine you are looking at ropes hanging from the ceiling, and you need to pull that rope in, and with that rope you pull in a big mansion, for lack of a better way to explain it. And that is what we are needing to do. We are all just needing to ground, focus on us, our human experience, and our human emotion in this time. Focus on keeping it positive because we have already done the energetical work, and we now need to be the anchors so that that energy can anchor through us into the earth.
Okay, very good. But who is this they that you were speaking about that were interrogating her?
We we like to call them they because we don't really want to put focus on them. We don't really want to name them. We don't like labels because people become fixated on the labels. If we give them a specific name now, people are going to be fixated on that and be thinking about that and be amplifying that vibration. So we are choosing to just say they.
Okay, and who is this council of six you were saying? Who are council members?
Well, we are, as an individual council, it is not one of these big councils as you would know them. It is just she is streaming in six higher selves, and for the six of us to work together with her body and her consciousness, which makes 8 in total, the even exchange of energy, and removing her body and her consciousness, there are 6 of us. So in order for it to be less chaotic and for it to be order, we call it a council, so that we know who is channeling through and who is sending information at what given time, and which one of us is needing her in the physical at which time. Otherwise, it would just be chaos. Wind, could just come in today and be like, ooh, I feel like having this and this and this. And then Ox is coming in, as she likes to call it, which is the earth aspect. We use names that are familiar to her so that she will understand this better later. And that is how it goes. We do not all want to be streaming in at the same time, if that makes sense. And so we have formed a council.
Okay,
we are working as a group.
And you're saying that's the 4 elements and 2 others?
Not the 4 elements. Like I said, I just referred to it as, it is difficult to explain. I'm going to try and find a way to explain it. In this life, she is only directly connected to 2 elements, the earth element and the air element. She intimately understands water because she's had past lives where she was intimately connected with water. She has no ties with fire. She has not experienced fire or had a past life with fire, so she does not relate to that. So water and fire do not fall in the equation. Earth and air are only 2 of the elements. The others do not wish to come forward now. It is like when Earth was challenged to come through the first time round. We did not like to or want to reveal that there are more of us. We will reveal as the time comes. It is also of a sensitive nature because some of the other aspects that are working with her are to do with other jobs that she is doing that, as what is the human word? Classified. It is classified for now and we cannot speak about it.
Okay. Why is it classified now? Is it just timing situation?
It is all about timing.
Okay.
We do not want her to know too much in this stage because she might create blocks. As we said, it's better to focus on what is happening in the now moment and what she is doing now rather than what is to come.
Okay. Okay, and can you just talk about her divine counterpart, this relationship with this person right now? Should she pursue it? And what is their connection?
They have been stubborn. They will be pursuing it. They will not be able to stop themselves because they are destined. They have chosen this. She and he are from the same soul group, and she knows this. He is a bit more stubborn, so he is delaying the process. But the more he fights up against the process, the more chaos he is going to manifest in his life, until he only realizes that when he is close to her, there is no chaos, and when he is away, there is chaos. That is the extreme way. We cannot predict how it is going to go, but right now they are on a good path. A lot of the work that they need to do is also linked together. Their energy is linked together and therefore a lot stronger, and they can get things done better for the other aspects of things that they are doing. They will be traveling together because they will need to go and help get the other chakras not aligned because they are aligned, but awake, if you want to put it like that, as they are dormant. The heart chakra is the next one that needs to get activated, but the root needs to be fully grounded. But grounded is not the word. Active or activated, as we could say. There has been a bit of a delay in this process, and that is why they have been doing the work that they have been doing by directly being linked to the energy here in a more powerful sense, because they can stream the light in better, because they are aware of the fact that they are streaming in the light, whereas a lot of the others are still sleepers doing the work, which means the light is limited, which means it has been taking a bit longer.
So you're saying these are the Earth's chakras? Is that what you're referring
Yes,
to?
we are talking about the earth chakras, or the earth vortex points.
And where is the Earth's heart chakra vortex point?
We would not like to discuss this now, because there are people that will try to block it. There are people that will try to destroy it or take it away.
Okay, but you're saying the root chakra, which we understand as being here in South Africa or in the Western Cape,
Yes.
there's a delay in it being kind of activated.
Yes.
What
So the
happened
Western
there?
Cape is the bottom part of the root system.
Mm-hmm.
The whole part of South Africa is the most important part of the root. As you move further up into Africa, more past, I would say, Kenya, up that way, the stem starts growing, if you look at it like a plant. And then from there, obviously, it will branch out. So the root system is looking good at the top, and the root system is looking good at the bottom. But the middle part of the root system is not looking so good. There has been a delay there.
Where is that?
It is the middle exterior of the country where she has been. Johannesburg, up to the borders of South Africa.
Okay. What's
down
delayed?
To the borders of us. So if you think about it, the mountain range, I cannot remember what the name is now, but there is a mountain range that she sees and she looks over every time she flies in the airplane that she loves. She's been there on holiday as a child. That mountain range is basically the line from us all the way through to the other part of the coast. So from that line up, the root is struggling. From that line downwards, the root is doing fine.
Is it the Drakensberg?
Yes,
Okay.
that is the name.
Okay, but you're saying above that it's struggling. What is still delaying there? What's happening there?
Well, it is not growing as fast. The energy is very thick there. It is very suffocating. It is like a black fog. It is all the negative energy. It is the negative collective consciousness that is hovering there, because everybody there is in that mindset of focusing on lack. There are not enough people that are awake there, because when everybody woke up and got the call, they all started moving here. We did not know that this would be a problem later on, because the more hands on, the better. But now the problem is there are less people carrying energy that side, because everybody is here. And so it has just delayed the process. It is not stopping the process, and it is not a bad thing, but it has delayed it. But we are trying to catch up now. It is only a small delay, so it is not even significant. It is just the roots here are thriving greatly, whereas those roots not so much, and they need some food.
Okay. And you're saying that people like Sam go there to kind of charge and to spread the energy.
That is what the light workers are doing at the moment. The ordinary light workers are doing it without realizing it every time they travel back and forth.
Yes.
But the less awareness you have of yourself and the less awake you are, the less light you stream in. And so it is a slow process, because there has been not such strong light flowing through. And that is why we offered to help. It was sort of a last minute thing. It was not a predestined thing. It was, we have an opportunity to align things so that we can help to stream the energy and the light through quicker as a boost.
Okay.
Travel is now becoming difficult. Airplanes are now being grounded. It is to do with the thick energy. They are trying to prevent, but you cannot prevent the light, and so we are not worried.
So they're trying to prevent the light workers from moving into certain countries to move the dense energy.
Yes, to move the dense energy.
Okay. And those of us who are not traveling, what work do we do?
There are many that are doing many things. You, for example, just as an example, you could be transmuting your light into another light worker, and that light worker may be traveling and transmuting the energy like that. There are people that have made chains. We do not fully understand how they have done that, as different dimensions work on different levels. We do not know what is happening on the 6th and the 7th dimension. We only know what is happening on the 8th and in our now moment in our physical bodies that we are incarnated in to do the work. But we have heard that there are others that have created chains. They have made chains. They walk past each other in a shop and they look at each other. They don't know each other, but they just look at each other and their souls immediately agree and chain up. And so that they can move the light through the chains, almost like a pipe system.
Okay. And why do you stream from the 8th dimension?
Well, because we are from the 8th dimension. All of us are from the 8th dimension, you included, her divine counterpart. We are from the 8th dimension and we are incarnated here on the planet now to help with the shift to the 5th dimension. We are currently in the 4th dimension. We have already moved out of the 3rd dimension. A lot of people are still in denial about that because they had their expectations of what they thought it would be like. And so they still go back to, I do not want to be in the 3D. Well, you are not in the 3D anymore. You are in the 4D.
Yes.
But the more you tell yourself that you are still stuck in the 3D and you are waiting for the 5th dimension to trickle down, well, you are creating that reality and you are actually chaining yourself to the 3rd dimension, and you will not be able to make the jump because your belief system is already wrong. We are in the 4th right now, and the 5th is coming in. People normally channeled from the 7th was the highest because of the 3rd dimensional energy. But now that the 3rd dimensional energy has shifted, and it wasn't just a shift from 3rd to 4th, it's a shift from 3rd, 4th to 5th. It is quite a big shift. It has allowed the opportunity where us from the 8th dimension were now able to incarnate on Earth to do the work and to have the experiences that we are having. We are here to do energetical contracts, but we are also here to have human experiences and have those lessons learned. Sam has incarnated many, many times. She loves coming back. And we love coming back. We love working with her. We have worked with her many times. We always choose to work together. And it was sad that we could not come back. And when we got the opportunity to come back, well, we were not going to say no. Of course, we were going to say yes, because now the energy is allowing us to come through again. We all grow. You don't just stay in one place. You might have started off on the 3rd dimension energy, and as you've evolved and as you've had your experiences, whether you've incarnated in other dimensions, other planets, or on Earth, you will grow and you will level up. And that is exactly what happened. We have leveled up to the 8th, and that is why we are now on the 8th. And as we continue to grow and expand and move, eventually we will level up to the 9th and the 10th and so forth, unless we choose that we do not wish to level up anymore and we choose to stay where we are.
Yes.
It is all about growth, and that is just it. We have just reached that level where we are on the 8th dimension through growth and expanding and choice as well.
So we're in the 8th dimension, but we're also in the 4th dimension.
Yes. Our higher selves, which is us, which is who you are communicating with now, we are rooted up here in the 8th dimension, always. That is also why it was so difficult to make connection until the 4th dimensional energy came through. The 4th dimensional energy is only half of the 8th dimensional energy, so it makes the line a little less static.
Yes.
If you think about it as a telephone line.
Yes.
And as the 5th dimension completely trickles in, the line will get even clearer. But without the 4th, the 8th could not make connection. So the 8th was not able to incarnate. Once you reach that level, you would have to choose other planets, other dimensions in which to further your growth.
Okay, is there anything else from this Council of 8 or the 8th dimension?
There is many things that we can talk about. And like I said, we are not specifically the Council of 8 for the 8th dimension. We just all happen to be on the 8th dimension. Your higher self is from the 8th dimension as well, and so is Natasha's, and so is the others in the group that we are working with, like Samantha's mother. It is just we call ourselves a personal council because we are 6 working together, channeling through one human form.
Okay. And is everyone's higher selves on the 8th dimension?
Well, not every single human being on this planet. Some have only been able to evolve up until the 7th or the 6th. And there is nothing wrong with that. They are just evolving. Some souls are young, some souls are new. And that is just how it works. We have just evolved to the place that we can be now. And that is why we are on the 8th dimension.
Okay. But you're saying
a lot of people channel, as they call it, the archangels from the 7th dimension. Because as I said previously, if you incarnated on the planet, the highest channel that could get through was the 7th, and it was very distorted and very difficult, but the 7th could come through. Now the 8th can come through because of the energy shift, which means people from the 8th dimension could then begin to incarnate back to Earth if they so chose to.
Okay.
And as the 5th dimension trickles in, the beautiful part is people on the 9th dimension will then be able to start making connection and start incarnating to have the experience on Earth as well. Because a lot of us that are up here in the ethers, as the name is for generalization, do not wish to incarnate on other planets. We love the Earth. We love the lessons and we love the experience because there is only one of it. Here we can touch, see, feel, smell, hear, and have emotions at the same time. There are other planets where you can have those experiences, but you have no emotions. You are like a robot. This is the only planet where we can have all of those experiences at once. It's a beautiful chaos, but it is very difficult. It is very difficult, but it is very beautiful. And so Earth has become a very popular place. That is why we are all so invested in the well-being of the planet, regardless of what the others want to do with it. We want to maintain its purity because we want to keep coming back. We love it here. We do not want to continue lessons in other places that we know will only take forever to reach the same lesson or the same experience, because while we are having the lessons here, the emotions are fun. They are daunting, but they are fun. How boring would life be if you were, as the Christians call their heaven, up in heaven, and there is no sadness, there is no madness. You have no emotions. You just like everything all the time, and everything is just the same all the time. How absolutely boring would that be? Does that sound like a heaven to you? It does not sound like a heaven to us. To us, it's about feeling. It's about knowing that we can fall and that the body will get hurt, but the body will feel hurt, but we will feel that hurt too. You cannot experience that. on any other planet or dimension anywhere else. Earth is the only one, and that is what is so beautiful about it, and that is why we want to set Earth free, because this industrial revolution, or actually slavery, because that is what it is not actually why we are here. This is not why people have incarnated to be here in the first place. And this is what we are trying to fix with the energy as well, with building Atlantis. Atlantis is just a place where you will be free. You will be free to be you, because that is what you came here to do. Be free to be you, to have your experiences, to grow and evolve, so that you can keep climbing the ladder and moving forward, because energy does not like to be stagnant, and all we are is energy.
Yes, beautiful. Sorry, the Atlantis, are you referring to the Atlantis in Agalas?
Yes, I'm referring to the Atlantis that we again, we do not like to call labels because people get attached to labels, but it is the only way to explain what we are trying to accomplish. Agalas is only the start, because the energy vortex is the strongest there, which means it can push it out. The same way that that vortex started there with the root system and has now pushed up to the mountain range, where you can actively, as a human, feel the difference in energy when you move through it, is how it is expanding. The idea of Atlantis is to create it there by the vortex, because the vortex is the strongest, but so that it moves out throughout the whole planet. That is why it is important to activate the other chakras of the planet. Agalis is not going to be the only Atlantis. It's not the only one. It might be the first of its kind, but it will not be the only one, because the whole planet needs to be like that. We are just trying to create something new to help awaken, and so that people can accept and see that there is a better way of living, so that they will want to help build it.
And why refer to it as Atlantis?
Atlantis is the only way that we can describe it, because Atlantis was the only one that was able to achieve that. They fell because they did not want to expand. They did not want to share it with everybody else. They'd become selfish. And the moment you become selfish, you are not coming from a place of love. And that was the problem. Atlantis had achieved that goal through a place of love. And we will achieve that again. But we will not allow selfishness to come in where it is closed off. And it is a status thing, because eventually they created such a barrier around Atlantis that low vibrational people would not be able to enter. But they were focusing on the wrong low vibrations, because some people might have a low vibration just because they are not awake, and actually being in Atlantis would have awoken them up and raised their vibration, and they would have had an important role to play in it. People were being excluded through status, a different kind of status, but status nonetheless, the status that we are struggling with today. We are struggling with it a lot, and that is why we do not like labels. But if you go back into, well, in real time now, they still call it mythology, even though it is not. But if you go back into what Atlantis was able to achieve and how Atlantis ran and worked, which was the same concept of what we were trying to do in Egypt. But again, the Romans came and corrupted everything. It is human, a very strong human programming that we are trying to break. And also the only way to break that is through mass awakening. The only way to achieve mass awakening is to make sure that everybody sees the shadow. So what we are doing now is we are shining the light very bright. The brighter the light, the darker the shadow. You cannot see the shadow without the light. And so the light is specifically shining where it needs to bring out the shadows. So the more unhappy and unrest, and the more riots, and the more war, and the more all these negative things are popping up in our fields on a daily basis, the faster the mass awakening will happen, because people are going to realize we do not want to live like this. This is not life. We have become slaves. And that is when we have our power back and we will achieve what we need to achieve.
Yes, we get our freedom back.
Exactly. But we first need to go through this, as difficult and as painful as it is. Transformation is painful, but we have to go through this process. People have to become aware of all the negative things that are happening, but they need to choose not to focus on the negative and see the negative as a positive. I'm so happy that I have seen all this horrible stuff on the news. It's terrible, and I can't believe we live in a world like this. But it has made me realize that we need more love. And so I'm going to focus on the love. That is just one way of trying to explain it. It is a very difficult thing to explain because it is very energetical. So it is very much about a feeling and a knowing, and it is very difficult to pinpoint. So we are trying to explain it the best we can.
Yeah, it's just difficult for people to understand. If you say focus on the positive, it automatically puts them in resistance of the negative.
Exactly, because you are looking at the negative going, but there is nothing positive. The positive is you knowing that that is negative. I look at that and I know that is negative. And by me knowing that that is negative, it has become a positive thing. And by it becoming a positive thing in that way, we then know that that is not what we want, but do not focus on what you do not want, then immediately shift the focus to what you do want.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the war and I do not like it. It is very negative. I know that I do not want to live on a planet that has war. So immediately I'm going to go, oh, I want a planet with peace, and visualize that. Not go, oh, universe or God, I want no war. No, take the war out of it. Take the no out of it. Literally go to the opposite. I'm looking at this. I don't like it. It is a green apple. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to look at the tree behind me because that green apple made me realize I like the tree more. So I'm going to look at the tree.
Yes. Okay. Very good. It was a very good analogy with the sushi. Just because you don't like the wasabi doesn't mean you need to focus on the wasabi. You can focus on the sushi and the soy sauce.
Exactly. And even though the wasabi is always presented on the sushi platter when she gets it, she can never get away from it. She does not look at it and go, oh no, not wasabi again. Okay. She just pretends that she doesn't see it and she focuses on the fact that, ooh, I can't wait to get that sushi in me. And that is exactly it.
I feel like sushi now. Okay, is there anything else about this relationship, this divine counterpart?
She just needs to exercise patience. And she must also realize that it is okay to allow the emotions that are flooding in. She has been blocking it off. She has been guarded because she does not want to get hurt. She knows that he will have to leave soon, and she does not like that idea. She does not want to be apart again. But she cannot stop herself from allowing that flow of emotion because she is blocking the light for the work that needs to get done while he is here. But he will not be away for long. The universe has already started blocking him. We will not discuss it now because she will tell him and he will not believe her. He needs to experience this fully on his own because that is the only way to get rid of the resistance that is creating the delay from his side.
Yes, he was struggling a bit to connect with his higher self yesterday. Why is that?
It is because he is too rigid. He is too... We do not know what the word is at this moment, but she describes it as him being stiff. She tells him he is too stiff, he is too serious all the time. He also has the air aspect in him. He is rooted with water and he is rooted with air. She is rooted with earth and she is rooted with air, and that is why they are so compatible. Air alone would have made them not compatible, but the earth and the water is what grounds them in together. He does not let air move and he does not let the water flow. He likes to be in control all the time. He likes to have everything planned, and he has a very wrong, well, it is a wrong, but it is a strong resistance with money at the same time, and he needs to let that go. He needs to stop focusing on the money. Then the air and the water will flow. He did not allow us in because of his fear.
What was he afraid of?
Contradiction. Most people are afraid of the contradiction. They are afraid of what they are going to find out. That is what causes most blocks for people that do not allow their higher selves to channel through to them. It is fear, fear of the unknown. Especially for those who like to be in control, it is the most difficult for them.
Yes, I think they're worried that they're not going to come back.
Yes, but it is also, they are worried that it is going to be a conflict and cause contradiction for what they know and believe, and they are right. And that is why they are not ready to face that. They are not ready to accept that, and so they block it themselves because they do not want to be told now that they need to change. They are not ready.
Yes, and it also will make them question their idea of reality, and some people don't want their whole reality shaken.
That's the thing. They know deep down, they know the truth already.
Yes.
But they are not willing to accept it yet. They are not willing to change their reality yet. They still want to hold on. He has been trying very hard to let go, and he has been working a lot on himself. They have been working together and helping each other grow a lot over the last 2 years. But his programming is a lot deeper than hers, and so it is taking a lot more work from his side. But he will get there. She just needs to know that what she knows is true and believe, and just let herself feel it. She does not need to keep herself guarded. She needs to allow herself to let it in and feel it and accept it for what it is.
Okay.
And know that the distance is not forever.
Yes. Okay. She can have a bit of patience, knowing that he will be back.
Yes.
Okay. But her tarot cards were mostly about the Pentacles, and then having the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Cups as the resolution card. Why were they mostly having to do with Pentacles?
It is because she is not allowing her emotions, like we said.
Okay.
She is allowing it to build up. She is bottling it in. Imagine a bottle of cool drink with gas, and you shake it and shake it and shake it, and eventually it will explode.
Yes.
Her emotions need to get controlled. They will not get controlled if she keeps bottling them up. And that is what she is doing. She is busy creating a volcano within herself. And that is creating blocks. She is creating that volcano inside of her because she has an expectation for how she believes things should be, or where she should be, or how they should be, and how they affect the people around her. She just needs to go back to herself. She will know what to do, and she needs to trust it. It is as simple as that. She is flowing her own. She is blocking the flow of her own energy. She is blocking the flow of her own abundance. She is creating lack in her life because she is bottling everything up. And the more that she is creating lack, the more she starts bottling. And so she has become stuck in this cycle that she needs to release.
Can you help her to release that today?
We are moving the energy through the body to help her release the energy in the body.
Yes. What does that look like energetically?
Well, she is rooted, so energetically you will see colors of green and purple floating around her in her aura. The green will be stronger because it is a healing energy. Any energy that is not of that color will then go through the roots and be absorbed back into the earth. Yes. Emotionally, we are explaining to her how she can practically practice it in her own time with things that she does in her routine to allow herself to feel the emotions and not bottle them up while still remaining neutral, because that is what it is about. She does not like to make decisions in an emotional state, and so she tries to stay neutral. She thinks she brings herself into a neutral position, but she is bottling her emotions without realizing it. We are showing her this right now.
What does that look like?
We were just telling her some practical steps on what to do. Breathing is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing. When she feels an emotion, she needs to put her hand on the part of her body that she feels it the most, and she just needs to breathe in deeply. Breathing deeply until she no longer feels the emotion or until she feels the emotion shift. She can also do body tapping. She needs to do some research on this. She does not know about this, but this works really well in releasing the frequencies as well. It is so that you can feel the emotion without letting your thoughts take charge. That is what she is afraid of. She is afraid that if she lets that emotion move through her body, her thoughts will then dominate and she will not break it free. So we have now tried to show her a practical, physical way of doing it so that she does not bottle up the emotions anymore, because that is also what is making her feel caged. She is caging herself because she is not allowing herself to feel.
I see. Okay. And that's very practical steps for anyone to do the tapping or the breathing to
Yes, the
release
tapping and the
emotion.
breathing is very important.
Okay.
That is one of her divine counterpart's expertise. That is one of the things that he is good with in this life. He is very good with breathing. He's been a shaman in other lives as well. He is very good at bringing energy through his hands. He is still learning about that, but he can channel the energy and he can feel it in his hands. And if he focuses, he would actually be able to create like light balls or fireballs of energy and push them into people for healing.
Beautiful.
She needs to speak to him about breathing. He will teach her conscious breathing, and that will help her. He has offered to do it before, and she has declined because she does not think she needs it. But she does,
Yes.
and she knows she does now.
Okay, so she can use that to dissolve the charge, the energy in motion, right? To
Yes.
relieve it, release it, not
To
just
release the
stagnate
charge.
it. Yes.
It's actually about transmuting the charge. It's charged when it's in you, but the specific breathing as well as the tapping helps to transmute it into a different energy.
Yes, I see. Very good. And what work will she do? How will she make money going forward?
Money. We do not wish to talk about money because money is irrelevant. Money is a tool, and money is not even going to be a tool in the future. Money is going to absolve completely, and so we find that it is irrelevant. All she needs to know is she will have a roof over her head, she will always have food on her table, the clothes that she needs. She will have the luxuries that she desires. She might not have them when she desires them,
Yes.
because some of these luxuries will set her off track. It will make her procrastinate. She will get too comfortable.
Yes.
I think the earth aspect, or Samantha as we like to call it, or has mentioned this before. She procrastinates when she gets comfortable because she is not very driven for materialistic things. She is only driven for emotional things, things inside of her. And then she makes herself stagnant. So some of these luxuries she will not get when she wants them because we do not want her to become stagnant or too comfortable. But she will get them nonetheless. She will have that house that she has dreamt about. Her and her divine counterpart will be doing the things that they have discussed because that is part of their journey. That is what was decided before the incarnation, and it is important work. But right now, it is not the time. Right now, it is the foundation phase, and this is part of the foundation.
Yes. Okay, very good.
Part of the rooting. We are working on the roots now, the roots of ourselves and the roots of our vessels, the roots of our connection with ourselves up here in the ethers and ourselves down here on this earthly plane. It is all about the roots and the sacral, the roots and self-empowerment, grounding. That is why it is important that everybody tells and consents to their higher selves that they will not be doing any astral traveling. They will be rooted and grounded in their bodies on this earth in this now moment, because that is the most important work.
Yes, otherwise we can't actually sleep, and we have every day is just so tiring.
Yes, that too. But it's not the traveling that is creating the lack of sleep. Everybody has been waking up and people are struggling to sleep. It is this dense energy. The dense energy is trying to bug everybody, to prevent the people from going into astral, to prevent them from doing the work. The ironic part is we no longer need to do that work and they are too late. But they are tormenting the people nonetheless. And so, if you just give yourself permission to stay grounded, you will not have a problem and you will all be sleeping better and being rested. And then you can focus on yourself and rooting yourself. Because right now it is root work. And that is where the focus needs to be now in the physical, not in the energetical, because the energetical work has already been done.
What do you mean it's already been done?
Well, we have all been working on that the whole time. We have already done the energetical work, but it takes time for the energy to trickle down. And that is why I said everybody needs to be rooted and grounded. It's like a rope that you pull down. You're pulling that energy down so that you can pull it into the physical now moment.
Yes. So before we go to sleep, we can just ask, okay, I don't want to do any astral traveling or work in astral. I want to be physical, and then you can actually sleep soundly. Is that correct? So we don't wake up at 3.
Yes. It is very easy. I do not give myself permission to travel. I do not give my higher self permission to travel. I give myself permission to stay grounded and in my body right here, right now, while I sleep, rooted and grounded to the earth where I need to be.
Okay, is there anything else for Sam today?
No, we think we are done.